President Trump is in attendance at the Supreme Court this morning. He is now the first sitting president in history to attend oral arguments at the Supreme Court. The hearing has already begun. The focus, an executive order issue that would end birthright citizenship.
So to break this down, today's proceedings and the case, we're joined live by constitutional law expert Robert McWhirter. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning.
Good morning.
All right, let's get right into it. Tell us more about this birthright citizenship and where all of this comes from that brought us to here today.
Well, it all comes from Donald Trump's campaign messaging that somehow this country is being destroyed because we have children who are born here get United States citizenship automatically. And so this has been a big campaign issue, despite the fact that the law has been very clear since the founding of our country that birthright citizenship is the way it works. The very framers of our Constitution believed in birthright citizenship, and the writers later of the 14th Amendment were more explicit about it, but it's always been the law, and now Donald Trump wants to try to change it and make a show out of doing so.
Robert, you just touched on it, the 14th Amendment. This case centers on the 14th Amendment. For folks who may not be aware, what does that say here?
Well, the 14th Amendment says all persons born in the United States or a state therein are citizens of the United States. Now, the 14th, that particular part of the 14th Amendment, which was passed in 1868, was to respond to a Supreme Court case before the Civil War in 1857 called Dred Scott, widely viewed as one of the worst, if not the worst, Supreme Court opinions ever, which said that black people were not citizens by virtue of birth. Now, just understand, the basis for citizenship in the United States, to use a Latin term, is called jus soli or jus sanguinis. Jus soli is you're born on the soil, or jus sanguinis, you're born by the blood of your parents. So that was always the law from the framers, George Washington, James Madison. If you were born on U.S. soil, you were a citizen. The Supreme Court in 1857 basically screwed that up and said it didn't apply to black people. So the 14th Amendment came in later and said, no, anybody born here is a citizen. That means black people. That also means immigrants and anybody else who has children in this country like it's always been.
Okay, so Robert, what exactly is the president trying to change here?
Well, he's trying to change that. And what they're doing is using a little part of the 14th Amendment to say somehow the 14th Amendment doesn't say exactly what the 14th Amendment says. And there's this little clause that says, if you're born here and subject to the jurisdiction thereof of the United States, then you're a citizen. Now, people who are not subject to the jurisdiction are the children of ambassadors. So if you're the French ambassador of the United States and your wife or your spouse has a child here, that child becomes a legal permanent resident. They don't become a U.S. citizen because the ambassador is still subject to the jurisdiction of France, right? Now, they're trying to say that persons who are aliens in the country, including the undocumented, are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. But that is an absolutely absurd argument, because if they're not subject to the jurisdiction, then they couldn't be prosecuted in American courts, just like ambassadors can. Remember diplomatic immunity? So if an alien then, under that reasoning, were to kill somebody, then if they're not subject to the jurisdiction, they can't be prosecuted for homicide in American courts, and that's utterly absurd. Aliens are subject to our jurisdiction in the United States unless they have diplomatic immunity. So I find it just an absurd argument, and that's the one they're trying to push forward.
Robert, I think the big question, of course, is can a president do this on their own, or does it require Congress's approval?
Well, actually, I don't think either could do it on their own. Now, Congress, by the way, in the 1952 and 1956 Immigration Acts have affirmed that if you're born here, you're a citizen. But neither Congress nor the president can change the Constitution on their own. In fact, the president has no role in changing the Constitution. The Congress could propose an amendment that would then go to the people for votes of 3/4 of the states. So really, neither Congress nor the president have really anything to do with changing the Constitution, and the Constitution in the 14th Amendment says exactly what it says. All persons born here are citizens of the United States.
And Robert, lower courts have already blocked this. So what is the Supreme Court being asked to decide on now?
Well, they're being asked to overturn the lower courts. Now, the lower courts said very clearly based on, by the way, Supreme Court precedent. Wong Kim Ark was decided in 1898, and that was a child who was born in San Francisco, and he was taken back to China when he was 2, and then he came back, and they said, well, you're not a citizen. He said, no, sorry, I was born here. And the Supreme Court said, yep, you're a citizen because you're born here. So the lower courts just basically applied that settled law. And so now the Supreme Court is being asked to review the lower courts, which actually had applied the law from the Supreme Court. So it's a little strange. I think it was a mistake for the court to even take this case because the law is settled. And we'll see what happens. But if they make a break from their own law in the past, it will be a bad day for the court.
Robert McWhirter, as always, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your expertise. Appreciate it.